Hello, hello. Today we are tackling the wood stove door. This is partially to talk about alternative energy sources to normal electricity, and also to talk about the best wood stove door cleaning life hack that I know. We're going to start with the wood stove door cleaning hack, which is if your wood stove door, right now you are inside of my stove. I'm cooking you in my oven. Cooking you. So, you're inside the wood stove. This is what the door looks like. Sorry, that's probably kind of loud. Okay. So, that's the door from the inside. It's got kind of all this black stuff on it. I've already been working on it a little bit, so that's why it's not fully covered, but it was fully covered. So what you're going to do is, on a glass wood door, you want to be careful to not crack it. And so you can't use a lot of cleaning products on it because they might react weird with the heat of the wood stove and like crack your wood stove door, right? Because then it's like, I think it's double paneled, but still, no, I don't actually think it is. I think it's a single panel of glass. So if you crack it, then all the fire comes out. This is my girl. She's helping me clean. You want to go in the oven too? Check out her foot. Isn't it so beautiful? She's got the longest toes. It's my girl. She loves a cleaning day. But so, you don't want to use a whole bunch of products on it because then you can crack your door. So, what you do is you take, this is my super deep dirty cleaning rag. You just get a little wet with some water, and then you take the just ash out, that's her, she's walking by, out of your wood stove, and you just put a little bit on your rag here. Wet rag with, I'm petting her and she's getting the ash on her now. Wet rag, ash on top like it's a little scrubbing agent, and then you just kind of go to town. And then you gotta put a lot of elbow grease into it, but like, I mean, I've taken like most of the weird spots off of this door this way. And it leaves a lot of ash on there, so then you can wipe it back off once you're done. But it's surprisingly effective, and then you're not using any products that the wood stove glass isn't used to because it already has ash and it already has water, because especially if you're using green logs, which don't be using green logs, but if you are using green logs in your wood stove, there will be a lot of moisture, and so you don't want to immediately run a whole bunch of really hot stuff right after cleaning the door. That's why I'm cleaning it in summer, because then you can't see much what I'm doing here. You may fall over, but she's helping with her little tail brush. But I'm cleaning it in summer because we won't be running it that hot. Something else that we do to keep the wood stove intact. The wood stove is the main source of heating for my family's house. It's wonderful. I love a wood stove. It's so warm and comforting in the winter. It makes your whole house smell like a warm campfire. It's very like Christmassy and like solstice-y and like warm and comforting, very Yule log. But to keep it nice, you got to keep it maintained. So there is a wood stove cleaning, well, it's more like a gloss, like a shoe polish, but you put it on the outside of your wood stove and it smells horrible. It smells so bad. And so, but it has to like cook onto the wood stove, so the wood stove has to be going. So that is best to do in like fall when it's warm enough to have the windows open, but cold enough that it won't be excruciating if you're running a wood stove in your house. Some of these spots, like this one, and then there's another one over here, just will not come off. They're really baked on there. The wood stove gets these spots from where it's had like logs or something pressed up against the door and it's burnt on there. Kind of like the inside of a kitchen oven. We do not cook on the inside of our wood stove. In winter, we do often cook on the top of our wood stove just because it's convenient. And then you don't have to get the oven going. And the wood stove makes the best. If you've ever had like a pot of beans made on a wood stove, oh, it's a treat. It's the best beans because they can slow cook on there for a long time. And even though they're not directly in the wood stove, I still feel like they come off with a nice kind of smoky flavor. Yeah, cooking on the wood stove, it's fun because if we lose power in the winter, which we often do, my family lives kind of far out in what my boyfriend calls the deep country. I don't think it's that far out here, but he's a city kid, so I guess it is. I mean, we're like pretty close to a town. It's only like a 20 to 30 minute drive. So technically it is the deep country. It's just what I've grown up with, so in my mind it's not that far. But so we lose power a lot in the wintertime, and then we can cook on the wood stove, which is wonderful. I'm very pro wood stove as an energy source. I'm really into different types of energy alternatives to things like coal or natural gas, which are, as we know, really bad for the environment. Wood stoves they do still release things like carbon dioxide and stuff when they burn wood, but they are slightly more renewable because burning wood, that regrows more quickly than, say, new coal forms. It doesn't take millions of years. We get all of our wood from, like, leftover scrap from the lumber mill. And sometimes we get wood from, you can't really see it very well, but one of these spots that's really hard is finally coming off. It just takes a lot of elbow grease. Eventually you'll get it. But cleaning your wood stove door is not something you really have to do. I just like to do it because then you can see the fire and it's really pretty. And I mean, maybe if too much stuff built up on there, it wouldn't be very good, but I don't know enough about that to tell you what is best for your wood stove. But for my wood stove, I like seeing the inside of the glass. So we have tried before to get our firewood from like just kind of different guys in the community. I have not personally been impressed with the quality. Once you kind of go to the lumber mill, it's hard to go back because it comes pre-cut, pre-dried, just very high. Because, I mean, it's the wood that they're using to then, like, make furniture or build buildings or something. And it's, like, the extra that they're not using that they just cut up. Look, that whole piece came off. But when you get it from kind of the local guy selling wood, the lumber mill's a local company, but like when it's just the guy that's like, hey, get your pickup truck full of wood, it's often more expensive, it's often green, it's often the logs are too big. I've got a lot of complaints about the local guy on the truck who then tries to like hit on my mom, but look at how nice that's looking. I want this piece to come off here, and we've got most of this one, and there's a little bit down at the bottom, but this one right here, I want it off, and then we'll be done. But another fun piece about the wood stove is that it's kind of like having your own paper recycling center, your own incinerator. It makes disposing of like confidential documents really easy. We burn a lot of tax documents. We burn a lot of like medical documents, like documents you like could put through a paper shredder. You put them through the wood stove, that's final. They're burnt. Like your info is protected. Because paper shredder, I don't know if somebody really wanted to, they could go through and tape everything back together, but I feel like that would take 100 years. But they could. Wood stove, it's burnt, so what are they gonna do? If you're getting a lot of squeaking sounds from this door hinge, I'm sorry. You probably are, but... So, and boxes, cardboard, cracker boxes, tea boxes, like random boxes, random paper, junk mail, anything, we can just burn it in here. It's like, again, burning things, not exactly eco-friendly, but is incinerating better than just sending things to landfill? I actually don't know, but it's convenient for us, and so it's what we do. So, oh my goodness, I want that piece to come off of there. Okay, that's as good as it's gonna get. We're gonna give it kind of, I was gonna say we're gonna give it a wipe with the clean side, but we clearly don't have one of those, so wiping her out. And that is how we can clean the wood stove door. If you have the option to heat with a wood stove, do it. It's so nice. It's just warm, it's cozy. It like is a lot cheaper for us than running like a heated air handling system. Ours in our house is kind of broken because at one point like a possum climbed underneath of our house and like chewed her way through the air vents, and then like we couldn't run anything through there because there was like a possum living in the vents. So even before that, the electricity used to heat the home was more expensive than like a load of firewood is usually like $300 to $400 depending on the size, and then that'll get us through like half the winter, most of the winter. It depends again on the size, but it's usually more affordable than the other options. We have this is our heat powered wood stove fan. Look, she matches. Are you the wood stove fan? You're my little wood stove fan. But it like, the heat spins this and then we set it on the top and then it blows the heat. Like say this is the top of the wood stove, heat rises, you know. So it blows the heat back into, we're gonna just give that a little wipe off. It's got a little dust on it, again, summer, so we haven't been running it. Blows the heat into the rest of the house. I love a wood stove, pro wood stoves, we love them. Again, they do release carbon, so no energy source is exactly perfect, but this is what I love. You can see, I'm going to flip you around, this is the inside, nice and scooped out, and nice clean door, so you can see through it now. And so that is how you clean your wood stove.